Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? So, as you see by the title, it's talking about my $100,000 lesson in business. This is not a $100,000 lesson that's going to help you make $100,000. This is not how I made $100,000. I mean, that's another video later on talking about how I've been able to make $180,000, $200,000, you know, in a business. But this is more about how I lost $100 million. $100,000, right? This is how I lost $100,000. So earlier today, a young man came inside my store, and the conversation that we started having, he's getting ready to have a birthday party for his daughter, so we talking about popcorn. And then he reveals to me that he once owned a bakery over by Barrett Parkway, and I was like, he had it for 2 years. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's cool. So what happened? Why did you lose your bakery? Where's the business at right now? So what he starts to tell me is about how when he first saw the opportunity to open up his bakery in this particular space, he saw all this foot traffic in that bakery, in that plaza. All this car traffic was in this plaza. And so I asked him, okay, so you saw all the car traffic, you saw all the foot traffic. Then he revealed to me that he was in a Walmart plaza. Now, this is no shade towards Walmart. Understand this completely. Nothing against Walmart or the people who were there. But he explained to me that he had opened up a bakery and he sold cookies and ice creams and cupcakes and other baked goods in this plaza. And one of his experiences on a consistent basis was that people would come inside the store, they would see the baked goods that he had, they would see the care he took, they would see the quality of the product, and they would see that how nice his bakery was. But the problem is that as soon as they looked at the price point, the first thing they would say was, oh, at Walmart I can get this at this price. At Walmart, I can go get it at a cheaper price at Walmart. And what I expressed to him was say, hey, I had the same lesson taught to me, that the type of shopper that visits Walmart is not the type of shopper that's going to pay for certain products. All right. Yes, this shopper may go and spend $200 on a pair of shoes, but they will not spend $3 on a cupcake because they can go to Walmart and get that same cupcake for like $1. So the $100,000 lesson that I started explaining to him is that when I first opened up my store, the Uncle Ren's Popcorn, it was a different name then, in Decatur, that I opened in a Publix plaza. And in that Publix plaza, you know, month 1, boom, business good. Month 2, boom, business growing, business good. Month 3, boom, 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 every month, business growing, growing, growing. So in my first year in that Publix plaza, we did $100,000 in sales, in gross sales. $180,000, sorry, $180,000 in gross sales at the Publix plaza. Now, we was there for a full year. And now some of you right now are saying, well, why would you leave? Why would you leave? Why did you leave that area? Well, what had happened is that after a year, we had to renegotiate our lease. And in renegotiating that lease, they wanted us to pay more money because they had someone else who wanted that space. So we basically outbid it because we didn't have a long enough lease. So in my mind's eye at that time frame, three years ago, there was another space down the street. I won't go through the whole litany of things of how I ended up at this location. It wasn't my first choice, second choice, third choice, fifth choice. But there was another space down the street, 1.8 miles away, at a Walmart grocery store that they were redoing the plaza, making it nice, cutting down the bushes, trimming it up, making it look real good. So I have to leave this space in Decatur where I just made $180,000 my first year there with my popcorn business, and I went 1.8 miles. Now my mindset at the time was that going 1.8 miles down the street, the same customers I have here at this Publix plaza are going to follow me down to the next plaza where there was a Walmart marketplace. Now this wasn't a super Walmart, but a Walmart marketplace, the grocery store. So in my mind's eye, logic dictated that my customers will be loyal and they will follow me down there. And maybe not 100% of them, but at least 70% of my customers will follow me 1.8 miles down the street to the Walmart. Guess what? Only about over the 3 years that I was in that new location, maybe 5% of my customers eventually came down to that new location. And every time I would see one of them out in town or over at Sam's or out in that area, I would ask them, well, why haven't you come down the street? Most of them would say, because I don't like that plaza, because I don't shop at Walmart. The lesson is that when I went to the Walmart Plaza, my first year there, did I automatically keep all my customers? Did I automatically increase my sales? No, my sales dropped from 180,000 to 80,000, $100,000 drop in gross sales, simply because I moved from a Publix plaza to a Walmart plaza. This is the lesson learned. The lesson is thus. Oh, and by the way, the second year and third year, we did over 100,000, but nowhere near. So we still lost 80, well, not 80, but $73,000. The next previous 2 years was the difference between what we was doing at the Publix plaza. $70,000 difference. That's your question why I moved the store after that lease was over. But here's the thing. This is what you got to learn from that lesson. This is my $100,000 lesson that you get for free. All right. When you're getting ready to open up your space, and this is what I told the young man because he's looking at opening up his bakery somewhere else. When you get ready to open up your new location or open up any location for any type business, yes, you can look and see that this has great foot traffic. This has great car traffic. But one of the things, and to some of you, you may already know this, or you may think like, well, no, well, for real, you should have been on that, is that the type of traffic that shows up in your plaza is more impactful than the amount of traffic that shows up. The type of traffic. You see, nothing against the different people, but the type of people that shop at Publix and the type of people who shop at a Walmart are not going to appreciate a gourmet popcorn shop, a cupcakery, a place that sells delicacies. It's just not in their mode. There's nothing wrong with them. There's nothing against them. It's just that the people are looking for discounted items or income or items, where people shop at Publix, they're looking for service and for quality and paying for higher quality, paying for more product that you just can't find anywhere else, a gourmet product. So if you're looking to open up, let's say you're getting ready to open up a boutique, a nail salon or a hair salon, right? One of the first things you may think about is that I want a low rent, I want a low rent, I want a low rent. But unless you got people who you know will follow you, you can't go to the low rent. If you know you need to attract new customers, the question is, do you want the customer who are coming to a plaza where they know that they're going to spend more money, they know that they expect to have greater product, greater quality, better customer service, and they're going to spend more money? Or do you want to go to a place where people aren't going to spend as much money, where they are always looking for a discount, where they're always looking for a deal, they're looking for the cheapest thing? Now, yes, it depends on the product, because in this Walmart that I was in, a City Gear opened up. City Gear will sell they sell urban wear. When the new LeBrons or Jordans come out, do people show up and get in line to spend $200 on some tennis shoes? Yes, they will spend that money. Are they going to show up and spend that kind of money on a bag of popcorn, gourmet popcorn? No, they're not. Right, and that's part of the lesson that I learned. Now, when I was in the Publix plaza, do they show up to buy the gourmet popcorn and cookies and that sort of thing? Yes, they'll show up to buy that, which is why there was a $100,000 drop in gross income, gross receipts. All right, going from a Publix to a Walmart. So, more important than the amount of traffic that shows up, more important than the amount of people that shows up in your plaza, is the type of spender that shows up, the type of person that expends their income in your plaza, in your area. So when you're out here looking for a new place of business, be mindful of that. Be cognitive of who are the people that show up at this plaza. Do they spend money on pricier items, or are they looking for discount? If you wanted to open up a dollar store type store, then yes, you go into the plazas, into the areas where people spend that money. If you wanted, I'm out here in East Cobb, right? One of the things I recognize is that there are no laundromats out here. You will not find a Cohen Laundry in this area. Out here, Sandy Plains, Piedmont Road, Roswell Road, there aren't any Cohen Laundries. Why? Because this is an area where people, it's houses, average income, six figures, so they don't use coin laundry, so your business will suffer over here. Nothing against the people over here, but they just wouldn't use that product. Now, if you put this in a different area, like along Powder Spring Street, kind of towards County Service Road, or out on Windy Hill in the Osborne area, then yes, those areas where you have more people who don't have laundry, don't have washing machines, they're going to go to the coin laundry. So you will be, that's a good place for you to put your business. See, you got to put your business with the type of people who are going to spend money with your business, and not try to force your business into an area where people aren't going to spend money for it. And here's the thing about that. I only went 1.8 miles down the street. In 1.8 miles, the demographics, as far as looking at the consensus, the demographics did not change. The average household income was the exact same 1.8 miles down the street to where I was located. But because it was a Publix plaza versus a Walmart plaza, the type of person, shopper who came into the plaza, that made the difference. If that doesn't solidify the lesson, the $100,000 lesson that I learned, that you have to make sure that your business is in an area where those type of people are going to spend their money, then you just won't get it, and you will then make that $100,000 mistake that I made, and you also make the business closing and having to shut down. That the man came into the store earlier who had a bakery and put it in a plaza where people weren't going to pay for his product because they can't see the value in it. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with them not seeing the value in it, because people see value in what they decide that they're going to see value in. And it's not for you to determine where the value is. You just have to notice where it is and then put your business in that place. It's just like if you're a salesperson, there's no point in me talking to people who are not going to be interested in no way, form, or fashion in what I'm selling. It's better for me to find those people who are interested in that item, in that type of lifestyle, in that type of thing, and then promote my business to them instead of trying to force other people into my business. You see, you got to follow the market. The market doesn't necessarily follow you. It is very rare, and that's another thing we got to get in our head. It is very rare where you can force the market to follow you. You know, Apple can do it, and they did it with their iPods back in the day, and that little music thing, I forgot what it was called, back in the day, and they created something that people didn't know that they needed, right? You didn't know that you needed music on a little thing until Apple brought your attention. But see, they were big enough to be able to create that. You know, it's just like the Pokemon Go thing. 3 months ago, nobody thought about Pokemon, but they have been able to create a culture around this. And that's a different thing. Most businesses don't have that ability. Most businesses, you got to follow the market, and stop trying to force the market to follow you. I was advising someone that if they were to take the space that I had over in Lithonia and turn that into a soul food restaurant, they will probably make the $200,000 that I was making at my Publix location by going over and taking that space and turning it into a soul food. Because that's something that community, that area, the people who come into that plaza will purchase, and there was a lack of that. The closest one was like 15 minutes away. So you got to follow the market and not try to force the market to follow you. So as you start looking, if you're looking or interested in starting a business, then identify your customer first. And then however your customer receives information, wherever your customer shops, where they go, where they spend their money, and how they spend their money, you have to fit into that mode. So I just want to give y'all that quick little information. That's my $100,000 lesson that I learned. And like I said, I went from almost $200,000 down to $80,000 in 1 year. And I only moved the store 1.8 miles away with the same demographics. But I moved into a plaza where people weren't going to spend money for what I say. And people don't follow you into areas that they don't want to go, even if it's right down the street. And just like that young man who opened his bakery in that plaza that he was in, the people who come to that plaza, regardless of who's other people around that area, the people, and see, that's the thing about his situation. 1 block away was a Publix plaza. If he had opened in that Publix plaza, his story would be totally different. His bakery, his cake cuppery will still be going on right now and probably going strong, because that plaza still has a Barnes and Noble. It has a Publix, still has a Barnes and Noble, and it has other shops that people who spend money on value items will show up to. So take that lessons for what you will. Please don't make the same $100,000 I made. Y'all have a great day. Remember, your greatness is non-negotiable. So is mine.